Hi, my name is David Penner, and this is my Module 4 assignment for AEP 855 over the KESA standards. This past week, I had the opportunity to go over the rubrics of the new KESA accreditation standards with my principal. It was interesting to see where we as a district were located on these rubrics. Last year, our principal stated that we were considered to be in year zero, which means that we are just looking at the rubrics, getting familiar with them, and then beginning the implementation process. So as we went through the rubrics, we identified ourselves as being a district that showed no evidence or had very little areas in which we were implementing the new standards. After my discussion with Principal Haydock, it seemed that our building was a little bit further along than the other buildings in our district due to the introduction of programs like career cruising, and then with our ongoing work of CITW. However, our district as a whole would be one that's still in the beginning process. The rubric that we scored the highest was the relevance rubric, where we seem to have done a good job of getting about half of the marks at the implementation column. However, our bottom two rubrics for the district were the responsive culture and rigor. Within these two rubrics, we had just five total boxes that were marked at the implementation phase, and everything else was marked as no evidence. My principal and I, after we discussed these rubrics, he did say that we do have a plan for this next year to go through what is considered year one of the accreditation process, where we actually are going to begin the implementation process. So we're going to go over the standards again in August and then begin the implementation process for this school year. Talking about my principal's leadership style, I would classify him more as a laissez-faire leadership style. He is very much so a hands-off principal, which allows you to conduct your classroom and the day-to-day routines. He gives you freedom to do that on your own. However, he is great at handling issues and orders that are passed down from the Board of Education and then also from the superintendent, while also doing a great job of handling any parental complaints or concerns. Areas for improvement for our district. Looking over the rubrics, I think there's two main areas that we desperately need to improve on. The first is within the relationships rubric with component 3, talking about families. We could do a better job at our school and then throughout the district as well at developing meaningful relationships with the families that are found in our district. We need to find ways to engage them in what is going on in our schools and in our community. So I believe that the PSEL standard 8B and 8D really stuck out for me. We need to find better ways to create and sustain productive relationships with our families in order to better find benefits or ways of benefiting our students while finding new ways for understanding the community's strengths and its needs. Once we identify those areas, we can then do a better job of gauging how to use the community members and their resources for the school. Not necessarily their wallets, but more along the lines of their knowledge and their skill sets. The second area was the rigor. Within the rigor rubric, component 3, the resources. Our district has caught some flack in the past of how we used our resources. About 2 years ago, we spent $1 million in order to redo the entrance to the football stadium. And so the community did not really react well to how we spent that money. And they also thought that we could spend it in a better way on the kids and their education. Usually we teachers are turned down at the end of the year for money in finding new ways or ways to incorporate new things into our school, and we usually have to wait till the next year in order to use that money or next year's money in order to find those resources. With that being said, we still had over $11 million that was left in our capital outlay, so something isn't really equaling out there with how we use our money. So looking at standard 2A, being good stewards of the school's resources, and then standard 9C, seek, acquire, and manage fiscal, physical, and other resources to support curriculum instruction and assessment. I really enjoyed this assignment. It allowed for me and my principal to have a meaningful conversation, not only about the state standards, but also our school, our district, and then areas in which we could improve as well. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great day.